Aftershocks, I Swear, by Jonesley. Really? For some people, it may have been the greatest day of their lives. For others, the worst. Some people on that day pulled their lives out of the ashes, stood up to the heavens and screamed, "I am me and you will not beat me!" For the small, intimate gathering in Ponyville, it was a Tuesday. Twilight Sparkle was playing host to 3 of her most precious people. Seated around the room on various couches and chairs, wine and cider glasses in varying states of fullness, was Princess Celestia, her brother Shining Armor, and his wife Cadence. They had eaten a delicious meal prepared personally by the Princess of Friendship herself, with assistance to ensure edibility. Now they were basking in each other's company and swapping stories of what they'd been up to since the last time they met. So then, just as she'd started to panic that she'd murdered Twilight, I'm stalking up to her with my angry face on. I lean down towards her and whisper in her ear, "Gotcha!" Twilight jumps up and we both paste her with water balloons. Celestia laughed, tipping back the dregs of her cider mug. And that's the story of how we taught Luna that summer should be spent outside, not inside plotting pranks on ponies. Shiny chuckled. That's pretty funny. I can't believe she fell for it. However, it doesn't top what happened to us last month. Cadence broke in with a sharp tone. Don't you dare tell that story, Shiny! Shining Armor flattened his ears. But it's such a good story. If I can't tell it to my LSBFF and my AILBFF, who can I tell it to? Cadence's reply was flat. I'd prefer no one. Ever. But this is a story that has to be shared, Shining declared. Shiny? Cadence's voice took on a higher pitch. I promise to never tell it to our children? He pleaded with wide eyes and trembling lips. Cadence sighed. Fine, if you must, but never again. This is the only time you will ever tell this story. In return, our children never hear of it and you never mention it again. I've already classified it as a state secret. Now I'm going to require a pinky promise out of you. Okay. So, Cadence has a thing where she likes to wander through the Empire. Says it keeps her in contact with the people. Celestia nodded. I do a similar thing myself. It's a bad idea to become too distant from those you rule. Lately, though, I've been sending Luna out instead. She needs the connections more than I do. I tend to be a bit more occupied with other matters. Shiny nodded agreeably. Right, so this day we decided to wander the market. I'd heard of a new restaurant opening and thought we could try it for lunch. Mexican food, specializing in burritos. Mine was good. I just got a standard bean and cheese number, but Cadence got the house special. Bean, broccolis and peas in a cabbage wrap. She devoured it. Cadence interrupted, her cheeks coloring. To be fair, it was the best burrito I've ever had. Shiny patted her on the shoulder. Fair enough. They were good burritos. Afterwards, we wandered the market for about an hour, stopping at the various stands, talking to ponies. She froze in the middle of the market. I heard a rumbling noise. You did not! I did too, Shiny retorted. It was like a warning shot across the bow for what came next. Cadence, my dear, sweet, demure wife, farted. Not just a normal passing of gas, though. This was epic. Had it come from me, she wouldn't have spoken to me for a week. I honestly did not know she could make a noise that loud without dropping into the Royal Canterlot voice. Cadence sniffed. It wasn't that loud. It was so loud. I swear they had to have heard it in Yakyakistan. So I'm standing there, next to her, her bottom having just growled like a manticore. She's turning a lovely shade of red, kinda like she is now. Shiny nudged his wife, who was currently pawing at the ground as if she meant to dig a hole she could crawl into. The first snicker came from Celestia, who straightened her face quickly, then looked sternly at Shiny.
Bodily functions happen. No need to tease her about it.
That's not the best part, Shiny continued. The best part came next. First, this barking spider was huge. Standing next to her felt like an earthquake. There were aftershocks, I swear. But afterwards, we are standing there. She's doing her best Big Mac colored Fluttershy impression. And what do we hear from behind us? Twilight, recognizing the setup, asking with a giggle,
What did you hear?
The stallion behind us suddenly screams, Earthquake! Sombra's come back for revenge! Run for your lives! And started running away. The next thing I know, the entire marketplace is scrambling to run away. Ponies all over started screaming. 3 mares off to the side just collapsed after screaming about the horror. Within seconds, the marketplace cleared out, and the next thing we know, we have to explain to a very concerned guard captain exactly what happened. Shiny delivered this with a wide smile and a deadpan tone. Twilight and Celestia froze. They stared at shining armor for several long seconds, their eyes wide and their mouth twitching. Finally, laughter erupted in the room. For several minutes, the only sound was raucous merriment. Twilight's laughter mixing in with shining armors to create a harmony of guffaws. Celestia's voice rose to a crescendo and her laughter actually became silent as her air supply became severely limited. Even Cadence managed to chuckle along, though she could also be heard muttering, "It wasn't that funny." Slowly the room quieted down as the laughter died.
That?
Twilight gasped, her eyes watering.
That can't be true.
Shiny's smile widened even further, threatening to swallow his ears. Hoof to the heavens, Twilight! My pretty pink pony princess pooted publicly. Ponies panicked.
We here at Pony&Wolf Productions thank these amazing patrons of ours for their monthly support, without which all of this would not be possible. We sincerely appreciate it, and every dollar helps, is needed, and will be used to keep us going to produce audiobooks for your continued enjoyment. It is, now more than ever, important that you support your favorite creators if possible, due to YouTube changing in a way that is not very friendly to content creators. Especially small content creators, like us. In recent months, the names you see on screen have enabled Midnight and Visual Pony to keep going and only having to sell off part of their belongings to not end up on the street. As an incentive for everyone, Visual Pony has broken a vow and has promised to read and record Fallout Equestria, Murky number 7, should the monthly support reach $1,500. To be clear, this is the absolute minimum amount needed to keep the apartment and all bills paid without starving, while a production of this size is ongoing. The estimated time for this production would be 3 to 4 years, but people already said that Project Horizons was impossible to do, right? And now look who did it, so with Pony&Wolf, you know we can finish the job. For further information on how to support us, please have a look at the description of this video, as there are also other ways, like our merch store. Sincerely and forever yours, your Pony&Wolf team. you.